We are
Ballistic Beauties. We are Jessica and Tamika,
a Latina and an African American
who are reinventing ourselves
in our 40s.
We are Christian,
smart,
irreverent,
edgy,
and we will make you clutch your pearls on a daily basis.
Girl, buckle up
and let's chat.
Girl,
sister.
The political climate sucks,
not so much,
but our hometown is fantastic. It has some of the best restaurants, some of the most beautiful beaches along the western coast. I don't know, Long Island Sound.
Yeah.
I'm not really great with geography, although I used to work for an airline.
Yeah,
I know what airport codes are because I had to work in the travel industry, but everything else you would think that I do a data dump out my brain, which I do because it doesn't matter to me very much, but I'm not a geography girl.
Our hometown was very special. It was, and I'm using the word
it
was.
It still has its pleasantries.
You have to look for it, you have to find it, and who to share it with.
You know, I think the biggest thing is who to share it with. If you don't have someone to share it, I mean, you can share it by yourself and it works. But if you are with someone who is who you find difficult, it's not going to be pleasurable. And one of the best, I think, just because it's my hometown, I think our beach is beautiful. I think the state park in our area is beautiful too. But this beach,
it's just so unique. I love the pier, and
I like to people watch.
It's actually the place where I used to come and hide in some of my old jobs when I was in corporate. Because, this hometown, you can get from point A to... You used to be able to get from point A to point B in less than 10 minutes. Now you can't.
30 minutes.
Like, really? It's ridiculous. And so I used to be able to sneak out during my lunch and just sit in a spot and... Wow.
And be able to do it all of it in an hour.
And believe it or not, like I'm also one of those weird ones that I love sitting at the beach, like in that shoulder season of fall going into winter, winter going into fall. I used to love smelling the smell of the salt air and that wind just like whipping against your ear and just sitting with a chair, whatever, a portable chair and like a thermos with hot, wink, wink, chocolate, and just, and just sitting there, and you might see a sailboat go by. No, you wouldn't see the sailboat because everybody would have packed up parked up the sailboats. I don't know the jargon, so bear with me. But I just love the water, and I'm not gonna lie, I've never been here in the height of winter. I've never been here on the property during height of winter. But
when you say height of winter, do you mean
like December, January, February?
Okay.
After a snowstorm, I don't know how quickly they clean the parking lot here at all, if they do at all. So, with all due respect, I don't want to test that theory this year either. But I've always been intrigued by just seeing pockets of frozen little pockets of the water in the winter, and just like it's still moving. I listen, I'm just a water girl. I'm an ocean girl. I'm not a fan of lakes and rivers, not so much, but give me an ocean. I'm there. Give me an ocean. I am there. Like the Caribbean. It's my happy space. I've always envisioned some like high land or something, and then you have like a vineyard overlooking, and then you see the ocean behind. Like, I know that's probably so rare, but that's my thing. Years forever ago, we went to Hawaii, and I just remember just being in the ocean and just seeing those mountains or something. And I think we were in Maui or something at the time. I can't remember Maui or
something you can't
Big
pronounce.
Island. I can't even remember, but because that to me was the closest thing to paradise I'll ever be. But I'm a water girl. I'm a water girl, and like this hometown, I'm going to miss you, because even though I'm in it, I miss you.
Well, when she said she misses we miss 90s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s before we graduated, before that. I wanted to lie. I was like, when we graduated in the 2000s. No, we didn't.
No, we didn't, boo.
Wow.
95. You were 94. I was 95.
Yeah, but why do you know what? Sometimes I just forget how old I am.
Yeah, because we definitely don't act our age.
Yeah.
If they say 50 is the new 25, well, hell, shit,
I'm 30.
I'm good. You know, because I refuse to act my age. Refuse to talk.
Well, my body moves like I'm my age.
That's a
or
possibility.
older. That's another situation.
I just had another rehab appointment. I'm trying to improve my mobility so I can get back under that squat rack
we need to figure that out.
Yeah,
so we can have some babies.
Yo, but yeah, no, I refuse to act, think, speak, sound
like I'm in my 40s.
Fuck no, sorry. Bleep that. I refuse. I'm sorry.
Let's see how long you can say bleep that.
Yeah, no. Give us a few more minutes. But yeah, no, this place was amazing in the 90s. You could be completely different. It didn't matter what you think, how you voted, how you prayed. If you ate meat on Fridays or didn't, if you never eat meat at all or not, it just did not matter.
It didn't matter how you dressed. We had hippies, and I remember girls walking around in our high school with, they used to call them broom skirts. Those skirts that would drag to the ground, and tank tops, midriff tank tops, and just walk around like we were in California.
Walking next to a girl that like literally was listening to gangster rap in her headset,
and nobody cared. Nobody was getting bullied, and and if you did get bullied, it wasn't
the bully it is now. The bullied was rectified real quick.
Yeah, and you got in trouble. You were suspended or went to detention, and it was resolved.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's
terrifying. I don't want to be a kid nowadays. And
thankfully, we still aren't kids.
We still dream about having kids of our own, you know, once the Lord brings us our husbands. And it's just like, I think homeschooling is in our future. Sorry, not sorry, you know.
Well, I hope that when we do homeschool, that we find a group of women and men who we can create what they call pods together, and our children can grow up together and have that experience. That
they will.
I mean, that hurts my heart that our kids will not have the same experiences that we did in our town.
Yeah.
You know, we have to find out unique ways to do the arts for our children and play band instruments. And I don't know if you want your kids to do color guard, but I mean, I want to expose them to that stuff so that they can decide what they're interested in doing. But they will never have what we had in the 80s and 90s. But we can do our best to
think about that. You're right. I never thought of that, because I was thinking, you know, I was recently thinking, you know, I don't know. Someone will need to get, you know, hopefully one of our listeners will hear this and email us and let us know, you know, if I'm right or wrong. But I remember you could not get into college if you wanted to get to college in a sports scholarship, a specific sports scholarship, you had to be a part of your school's team. So if you wanted to get into college in a soccer scholarship or a baseball scholarship or a football scholarship, you had to play for your high school team. Nowadays, you don't have to. Just pay membership to these leagues. So now colleges and universities are watching these these non-academic leagues and non-scholastic leagues. And so if you are impressive, you can, you know, if the opportunity presents itself, you can homeschool your children, still enroll them into these specific sports leagues. They're going to be recruited, and they can still get into college if you want your child to go to college, because I'm one of those that doesn't believe in colleges and universities anymore. And your kid can still have that experience. So at least in the sports world, and I don't know what's the equivalent in the music world, because we had an extremely unique musical experience in our high school.
All of our music teachers were top notch.
Like, please, we national competitions. We were not talking local stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, even I'll segue in a moment, which happens a lot,
of course.
But I mean, we grew up in this beautiful town, and think eventually once we move from here, we'll talk more about our town.
Yeah.
And call it out and blah, blah, blah. But this town had the band competitions. It won't be very hard to figure it out.
Yeah.
But the band competitions and our musicals were phenomenal always. We just had top-notch talent. Everything we did was good. And I think it was because
probably
people wanted to be here.
People wanted to be here. The proximity of surrounding major metropolitan cities.
Close to the Metropolitan Opera.
So we have all of these, we had access to the
so
best
much.
of the best.
I mean, even where we live, we are, 3 hours from Boston, right?
Mm-hmm.
1 hour from New York.
Mm-hmm.
We are 1 hour from Hartford. 2 hours from Springfield, maybe?
Maybe.
Rhode Island exists.
We love you, Rhode Island. We do.
Sorry, Rhode Island.
You guys, you are unique.
But, where we live is just such a great, we live in a great place. And, yes,
with great memories.
Yes,
with great memories.
We'll miss
but we're going to miss you.
But it's time to bounce. And why are we bouncing, Jessica?
We're bouncing. Okay, well, I would say, for me, it's a multi-layered answer.
Just share the stuff that you can share.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're going to be hearing me sipping coffee in my mic. Sorry, y'all.
I don't have to be polite here. Somebody's going to clutch their pearls, and it's not mine. I would say that, first of all, superficially, it's just financially not feasible for us to be living here anymore. You and I, we are blessed that we have some resources. We have a support system around us. We've made some sacrifices, and people are helping us back because of those sacrifices. We have access to friends and family that help us. Now, I'm not saying we're dirt poor, but what I am saying is we've dotted our I's, we crossed our T's, we followed the Dave Ramsey rules, we followed the next step beyond Dave Ramsey, we've done the MLMs, we've done it all, but it is absolutely unreasonable to be a single person or a young couple or a couple making less than $100,000 where we currently live. You need a job, a part-time job, a side hustle, something under the table, and something completely illegal just to be able to pay your rent, let alone your mortgage, and be able to pay for daycare for your kids so you can go to these part-time side gig, side hustle, under the table, and illegal jobs. So you are paying all of these taxes, having all of these jobs to barely make you pay the roof over your head, and your children are practically being raised by someone else because you have to work to ensure you can keep the clothes on your kids. And that's not what God intended. Now, is it possible to find this somewhere else? Yes. Possible to find all of that somewhere else? What you desire somewhere else? It's a possibility, but it's also going to come with certain sacrifices, possibly leaving your family behind, possibly leaving your friends behind. You might not be able to go to the movies once a month. Remember when we used to go to the movies once a week? Once a month might be a good thing. We might have to sacrifice Netflix and chill. We might have to sacrifice Amazon Prime.
We don't have no Netflix and chill. We are single women, and we don't do the Netflix and chill.
Well, what I'm trying to say.
Do you know what Netflix and chill is?
Not at all, because I never had it because I can't afford it. Okay.
When they say Netflix and chill, they mean watch a Netflix video and go have sex.
Did not know that. So anyway, still don't know. Never could afford it. Okay. That is the most superficial answer as to why I feel the need that I have to move out of this area of the country, which is in my blood, which is very sad. It became absolutely unreasonable to be able to keep the roof over your head, the clothes on your back, the heat on in the winter, the AC in the summer, clothes on your children, food on the table, and be able to be the parent of your children. Because the ones who I feel that are being the most screwed in all of this are the children. You're trying to keep the lights on at the cost of someone else, a teacher or a daycare instructor, watching your kids when you could be spending that time with your kids.